Welcome to the Head to Head podcast. I am your host, Elamon, with my co host, Cole. This
What's up?
show is for fans of football, NFL, and college. We're just two guys who love the game at both levels, and we like to play the game as well while we talk about it. Um, we just finished the Super Bowl this past Sunday. Seahawks were victorious, and how we'll do these episodes is we'll always randomize our teams and we'll hop in and start talking about the topics of the day. So let's go ahead and randomize. Then Cole, I will get the Buccaneers, and you've got
San
the
Fran.
Niners. Okay. Well, where do you want to start? Let's talk about the game itself. Um, I feel like it was kind of expected, the beatdown of the Patriots. I don't know if you knew anyone who was rooting for the Patriots, but
I
uh,
I mean, we were all there together, a group of us at the house, and I think we were all pretty much in on the Seahawks. I don't know if I think it was kind of expected, like you said. The Patriots were just kind of outclassed.
yeah, and I'll say this is a big, a big movement in the NFL. A lot of teams. I mean, the meta in the NFL to say is um, they look at the recipe for success, what succeeded in this past season, and I think the formula that you can take away from the Seahawks win is that you don't need an elite level quarterback to will you to games that you probably shouldn't win, and the Seahawks were just a very
Oh
well
my.
built team. I about got a house call on you first play.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I've heard a lot of talk about like people trying to say like who's the worst quarterback that could have won that game. I think there's a lot of people that could. Obviously, the story of Sam Darnold is great, but like in that last game, Sam Darnold did not have to do much. But like you said, that is a formula, a common thing that we're seeing this offensive schemes that these coaches are coming up with now, and even these some of these teams with these elite defenses. There's just the average level of like play we would get from a quarterback nowadays is nothing compared to some of the old cerebral minds we used to see. Tom, Peyton Manning, Philip Rivers. We got to see him come back off the couch a little bit this year, but you just don't see like that level of a breakdown from a quarterback anymore, hardly.
And especially one of the biggest things that I think was a shock to many NFL fans, especially those who pay attention and care about the more advanced things like taking care of the ball and the play calling side of the ball, the coaching aspect. Mike McDonald was the first head coach to win a Super Bowl who called the defensive plays, and that was a big topic going into this season. How you need a McVay or you need a Shanahan kind of guy calling your offense to really make a difference in your team. And Mike McDonald and the Seahawks proved that it just isn't true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I really enjoyed watching. I mean, there's a lot of people that say that the game was kind of boring, and I think, like you said, for the people that are more into like breaking down the game, that love watching the defenses and just like the art of football in general, it was honestly a beautiful game. Like the defenses were on point. Both defenses were on point for pretty much the whole game. Obviously, we've seen a lot more happen in the fourth quarter, but I mean, it was it was a good game, and I really enjoyed the defensive aspect of it. I like watching the defense. For most of my like time watching football, I've always been an offensive guy. Like I love seeing tons of points get scored. But just recently here in like the last I'd say like 2 or 3 years, I really like seeing like a good defense just beat down on an offense, and that's what we got to see a lot of today or the other day.
And on the back of defense, the Seahawks claimed the victory, but I think what really held the team together and what's really held them together the whole season, if you've watched Seahawks ball, has been their run game. And Kenneth Walker being able to have the shackles lifted off of him with no restrictions and being able to be the player that I've always thought he could be, that alpha number one running back and getting all the volume and being fully relied on, finally showed his value, and I'm sure the contract will show it as well. I mean, he was rightfully so the MVP of
Yeah, I was
of the
gonna ask
offense.
you, a Seahawks fan, what do you think about? him going into free agency this year? Do you think he's coming back? You think he's going?
I don't think there's any chance unless somebody just massively, massively overpays. Like, I don't think there's a chance he leaves. I don't think he wants to leave. I think he knows it's his team. So I don't see him leaving. I'd be very surprised if we just let him walk if we didn't match an offer or something. But um, yeah, he's the heart and
Do
soul
you
of that
think?
team.
Do you think when he comes back, do you think that McDonald's gonna let him keep that like that strong number one role, or do you think that Charbonnet is still gonna eat into him like he did this year?
It'll be very interesting to see who we sign as a offensive coordinator. But after that performance, I don't think anyone who is willing to take that job would look at that and say, "Well, I'm not going to give that guy as many carries as his body can take." I'd be very shocked if that were the case.
Yeah,
That'd be disappointing. Um, but on the opposite side of this, as a lookout for the future, I mean, whose future is brighter in the AFC than the Patriots? I mean, you're playing with house money. They came into this game a huge underdog, rightfully so. They're playing with a sophomore quarterback, first year head coach of that organization. I mean, I don't know how you can't feel good, even after getting completely demolished if you're a Patriots fan.
yeah. I mean, after all the success that you've had in the past too, like not that losing a Super Bowl doesn't hurt, but it's almost like okay, we're young, like we overachieved. Let's just like be happy with what we were able to get. And yeah, I mean the AFC, we already know there's lots of elite teams over there in the AFC. You know, Lamar with the Ravens. We got Mahomes. Hopefully he'll be back healthy next year, and we'll be watching some exciting football. And now the Patriots jump back into the mix after just like a couple of years off. You only had maybe 4 or 5 years without them in the playoffs, and they're right back in there. So it'll
Just
be.
doesn't. It's just not fair, man. They don't deserve it, but yeah,
Oh, dang it.
yeah, they've got a bright future. That defense. I mean, I don't think they. I don't want to sound like they were overrated or make it seem like I'm not giving credit where they were due. They were a top unit all year, and they showed it in the playoff run. Um, but I feel like a lot of their key players overperformed, and I don't know how they will replicate the success. I mean, Robert Spillane, their leading linebacker. He's an older guy. He's getting up there, but we've seen people like Bobby Wagner, Seattle legend, play well into his career. And if they can have that kind of success with the veteran players on their roster, I mean, who's to say that they won't be able to be back here in a year or two?
Yeah, I I also think the only worry for them is like you said some of their players aging out. I mean, Stephon Diggs. Not only is
He
he
might not
old,
be on
he
a
might spend
roster.
next year in prison.
He might not be on
he
a
might, he
roster.
might not be playing football next year. Matt Collins, I think this is he just finished his ninth year in the NFL. I mean,
Yeah,
like
they've got an
he's
old core.
he's up there, and I mean it is great that they made it to the Super Bowl, but also in making it to the Super Bowl, you put yourself down there at the 31st pick. It'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see how they draft and how they use free agency because I think they're going to have to do a lot of what they're trying to do in free agency. I was burnt down. Oh, I was burnt down
I
the left
should have
side.
sent
Mike
that deep
Evans had me
shot.
cooked.
I should have sent that. But I will say they've got bright. They had a great rookie class. I don't know how how they will keep Will Campbell outside. I think he's got to
Man,
make the transition to tackle. It was a big concern coming out of college, on the biggest stage, I think it was exposed. I think he kind of has to make that move to guard for him to have any like individual success in the league.
yeah, yeah, and it's you have to wonder about that injury. Like before his injury, he was playing well, obviously against lesser competition, but he was playing much better. But it was so funny. I saw the clip of him whenever he was at LSU talking to there. He's like, if you give up a sack per game, like you're gonna end up working at Amazon. And he gave up
Yep,
14 pressures in this
yep,
game.
yep. Breaking records on both sides of the ball. I mean, Drake
Yep,
May set the record for most sacks in a postseason run, and Jason Myers on the Seahawks side hits the most field goals in a game. Um,
crazy.
Low
Drake
key,
May
I thought he was
also.
going to win the Super Bowl MVP. I really thought there was a chance.
had 3 guys in my zone only fetch.
What were you saying about
Um,
Drake though?
you might not have even realized when you watched the game, but Drake May also set the record for most passing yards ever in a single quarter of the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
quite. I mean, all in the fourth quarter.
Super stat patty
I mean,
there.
yeah, super.
They had
It
to. I mean, Vegas
definitely
has
did not
lines,
feel
man.
like that.
Vegas has lines that they gotta cover.
It was it was, it was definitely a little bit of stat pad in there. Then they just started airing it out, and I mean Drake May looked the longer it got into the game, it looked like the more confused and like rattled Drake May got. I think we saw a version of Drake May that we did not see in the regular seasons. I'm interested to know like what you thought about like you think it's just the playoffs or you think it was seeing real defenses?
I
Like
mean,
what do you
he
think
he
got him
he
so
had such a gauntlet to go through. I mean, started out with Mentors, Jesse Mentors defense and the Chargers, who I really think was the only bright side of that whole team throughout the year, aside from Herbert, with how decimated their line was offensively and the injury to Murray and Hampton. As soon as he just started showing life, like early into the season, being able to bring that Chargers team into the postseason and have his unit be as good as they were, that's already that's a hard matchup for a sophomore guy. Then you've got to go and play. What do you get? You had the Texans next, right?
Yep.
Had to play I mean, arguably the second best defense. It depends. Pick your poison between the Seahawks and the Texans, who you think is better. But those are the top two units in the league, and he had to play both of them. Then, not to mention the completely revamped and emerging defense of the Broncos. Even though Stidham was playing whatever, Drake still had to put points on the board. That offense still had to put points on the board, and they went through I think the four best defenses in the league. That isn't theirs. I don't
Yeah.
know how much of a harder
Dude,
run you could have.
I watching Christian Gonzalez, I have to
He might
apologize for
be
Christian
he
Gonzalez. I
might
was
be the
not
best corner
familiar
in the
with his
league.
game.
He might be the best
I
corner
was
in the
not
league.
familiar. Dude, the play where he tipped that pass away from Shahid, that
Yeah,
was
man.
like beautiful
And
football.
watching it on the replay, like how did he jump that
The
route?
it's so hard to like hit the ball. Like obviously, you see the defensive lineman at the line of scrimmage putting their hands up. They say just like basically you're just throwing your hand up in those situations to try and hit it. And he's like fully extended in the air, 30, 40 yards downfield,
Ridiculous.
and he tips that
Ridiculous.
ball. I was
Yeah.
like, holy crap.
Yeah, he's legit. He's legit. I mean, he's been a bright spot for them since he was drafted. It was always just injury concerns and the durability and when he's out there on the field, there's very few corners that are better than him. I might go like Sertain and Stingley. Like those, only those two. But I think he's a top three guy. Um,
I'm excited now that I kind of oh my gosh.
who was that? Zion
That was
McCollum? I think so.
that
Nope.
was not that was not very smart.
But yeah,
Oh, this is not
really,
going good for Sam Brand.
yeah. And I'm glad as a Seahawks fan to see that. I mean, that felt so cathartic. Winning, righting
Yeah,
that
in the
wrong,
stadium.
man, righting that wrong against the Patriots and doing it in San Fran Stadium. There's nothing better. That's one of the greatest
The
feelings.
quote from Kyle Shanahan was awesome. Like, they asked him, "What do you do to slow down a defense like this?" Or to I can't remember what the way they worded the
Yeah,
question. It was like
yeah,
basically, how do you like score on a defense like this? He said, "I don't know. I haven't scored it on them in like 2 games or something like that,
yeah.
where they had only
In the
scored
last
field
two
goals."
matchups, yeah.
And well, credit to Shanahan for just being real with it. But I mean, you could tell he was not happy that Seahawks were in his stadium.
No, I mean that's gotta be rough. That's gotta be rough
Yeah,
when there's that much bad blood between two teams. But I will say the unsung hero of this Super Bowl, who didn't get as much praise as I think he should have, is Cooper Cup. Um, let me
Cooper
just
Cup
give
played
you
a
a
great game.
list. Let me just give you a list of every Super Bowl MVP to win a Super Bowl with multiple teams: Tom Brady, Von Miller, Peyton Manning, Richard Dent, and Cooper Cup. And that's the end of the list. He's the only guy. He's one of five guys to do that. And when JSN went out into the tent and was out for a majority of time in I don't know what was it like the second quarter into the first whatever. He was the go-to guy, and he was really the only way that the Seahawks moved the ball in the air for a little bit. Also got the game started with a big catch. Even though I don't think it was a catch, I think he didn't have possession, but they got the ball off, so it'll go down in the books as a catch. Um, but he needs his praises sung a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yep. Also, another speaking of like unsung heroes, the punter,
Oh
dude,
my goodness, the
Dixon,
Aussie, Michael Dixon, man.
he put them things inside of the five, I think 3 times, and one of them was like almost no help, like it literally bounced out on the 4 yard line, like he kicked it there. A couple of the other ones, the teammates run on the field and they're able to get down there and stop it from messing in the end zone, but that I think it was the last one that he got done inside the five. Like it hit right on the sideline, like on the 4.5 yard line, and it was out. It's just like
And this is something,
it,
obviously, my bias as a Seahawks fan, but I've been saying this for years. I think Seattle's had the best special teams unit, the best two kickers in the league as a whole, as a collective. Um, Myers and Dixon are such integral parts to this offense or to this team. And I mean, special teams is a third of the game. They're I mean, and we saw through the playoff run. I mean, Shaheed, one of the biggest additions in at the end of the trade deadline, just a huge difference maker. Who knows how the San Fran game goes in the divisional if he doesn't return it on the first play of the game? I mean, that kind of set the tone. Um, but yeah, the Seahawks special teams needs as much credit as that defense does, and K9 and JSN and all the records that. Oh my goodness,
that was a terrible pass by Baker.
that was
Holy
awesome.
cow,
No, I meant to
that
do
was
that.
like 3 yards behind Evans.
Was it Renardo Green, man, FSU
Bernardo
legend.
Green.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, not to mention again for a little bit more hopium and copium for the Seahawks, they've got they're a top five team or top six team in cap space going into this offseason. Um, Now they've obviously got to re-sign K9. They've got a decision between keeping or letting Tariq Woolen go. And a couple veteran edge rushers and linebackers as well, but they've still got their core on multiple years of
Mm.
contracts. I don't know, and if you want to segue, if this wants to be a segue into our way too early prediction for next year's like Super Bowl matchup, I mean, I don't know how they can't repeat. It'll obviously depend on their offensive coordinator, but I'll give that.
Ho, ho,
Yes, who
ho.
was that? Oh, let's go. All right, big. But
That the Vegas lines opened up today, and I'm pretty sure they're the favorites to be back in the Super Bowl next year. And
and
I mean,
there's
I
rumors of
can't
like
disagree.
a Max Crosby trade.
I've heard a lot of things for Max Crosby. I him to the Seahawks would just be
That would be unfair.
that
I
defense
think.
would just be, oh my gosh.
No,
Oh
wait, he
wait,
dropped
he
it.
dropped it. What? No, he
Don't challenge
totally
it.
dropped
Don't
that.
challenge it. Don't challenge it.
Wait, how do I judge it?
Don't challenge it.
I
No,
can't.
let's go.
What?
It was always a touchdown.
What?
I don't
He
know. I
won't
don't
even let me challenge that? Holy
because it was a
cow.
touchdown.
I might have just got scammed.
But yeah,
If
I mean, I don't know how they're not a favorite. I don't know how they're not the favorite going into it if they can keep Kenneth
yeah.
Walker and um, use some of
Yeah,
that,
I
that
think
salary
once
cap.
again it's gonna be somebody out of that NFC division between the Rams, Seattle, and 49ers. I mean, if the 49ers can get healthy and stay healthy, they have a good shot at it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I will say I think to give the Niners as much credit as I can as a Seahawks fan, McVay or not McVay, sorry, Shanahan. He really needed some more nods for Coach of the Year. That man was doing God's work with
Gosh.
no one. I mean, he had Mac Jones starting for a majority of the start of the season, and he had him
Mac
looking
Jones is
like
going to
a.
be a hot commodity this
That's what I'm
offseason.
saying. He had him, and if he gets paid somewhat solid, it's because of Shanahan. I mean, he really got the most out of Mac Jones, and if you'll remember back in that draft, he wanted to draft Mac Jones.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's really
Oh my.
interesting being able to see all these quarterbacks get second chances, and especially Sam Darnold being the most recent
I know. I
one.
think. I wonder if there's some GMs and coaches looking around the league that are like, looking at some of these old, kind of highly picked quarterbacks that were picked high in their drafts and that are now either benched or just not performing. Like, oh no,
Get
dude,
him,
this
Hassan
is
Reddick.
not good. But yeah, I wonder if there's some other coaches, maybe the Jets that are struggling at quarterback, looking around at people like Will Levis and players like that
Malik
thinking about
Willis,
giving him a
man.
second chance. Malik Willis, I would include Malik Willis in that. I don't remember where Malik Willis was drafted at. Was he a high draft pick?
Was he
I think he was third round.
wasn't he Titans as well? Was he Titans as well? Oh, you killed him.
Malik Willis.
Oleg.
Where? Dude, I do not remember who drafted Malik Willis.
I think he's Titans. Am I wrong? He's Liberty, right? He came from Liberty?
Yeah, he came from Liberty.
Yeah, I think he was a Titans guy. I
Yeah, I
think.
don't know. I think that he's definitely. I mean, as far as some of these teams, maybe that have like an older quarterback, like the Rams, bringing somebody like Malik Willis just to try and see what they could do with him with a year behind Stafford would be would be interesting to see. I think even like even with Sam Darnold, like, do you think that he's the franchise guy? Do you think that
I mean, another stat that we got to have as Seahawks fans. He was the quarterback who had the most turnovers in the league, right? Or the player with the most turnovers in the league, and then went on a playoff run where he committed no
seamless,
turnovers.
like beautiful, perfect?
I mean, he didn't play great in the Super Bowl. He missed a couple deep shots that the Patriots gave him that would have been huge plays. I mean, early in the game
He
that
did also get
wide
in
open.
that in the pocket. He had some good moments
I mean,
where he
yeah, he
avoided
turned back
some
the
bad
clock.
sacks.
Um, I yeah, I think he is. I don't know how you can't say he is after the season
Yeah,
that he just led
I
us
mean,
to.
and who's behind him? Jalen Milrow.
Milrow or Drew Lock, and those are. I mean,
Hey, you
Milrow's a
don't
big
want Drew
project.
Lock.
Yeah. Hey man, streets will never forget 2023 Drew Lock against the Eagles, man. Nobody will forget that. But yeah, I think he's the guy. I think he'll be the guy as long as he wants to be the guy.
I think it's fair. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't. It's not that I doubt like that Sam Darnold is legit, right? Like obviously, last year it was, oh, he's gonna crumble in the big game, and this year it's like, okay, here we are in some big games, and he did not crumble.
Yeah, I feel
Like you
like he
said, no
really
playoffs,
silenced
no.
all of the narratives in this playoff run. I mean, he beat
I,
the team in the Rams that had him shook last year in the playoffs with the Vikings, and then went into the Super Bowl against a team he's never beat in the Patriots and destroyed them. I mean, now a lot of that's on his defense who really did all the work, but he had a good game. He had a passable game.
yeah,
He didn't. I
he
mean,
played a clean game, and that's
yeah,
about
and that's all.
as
That's
good
all
as you
he
can
needed
ask
to
for.
do. That's all he
Yeah,
needed to
that
do.
with that defense, like literally, I'm sure Mike McDonald was like, Sam, all you
And I
have to
mean,
do is not turn the ball over.
2 weeks prior, he outplayed. He outdueled the MVP. I mean,
Yep, he's
when he's on,
outdueled
he's
the MVP
on.
twice this year.
Yep, twice. You're right. Um, it'll be
So,
interesting.
like we said, I think so. I don't know who is second in the odds to make it to the Super Bowl next year, but who do you think are like the favorites? If you could give like two favorites for the
I'm
AFC
I'm
side of
very
things.
high on the signing of Jesse Minter in Baltimore. I loved Minter this whole season. I think the Chargers are such an underrated team, and it was mainly because of him. And I think that hiring a guy like Minter does exactly what it did for Seattle in hiring Mike McDonald. You got your defensive guy where you've had defensive woes in the past decade, and you have the talent on both sides of the ball. We know that because when McDonald was there, what did they do? They went to the AFC Championship, and I mean, you can say whatever, hindsight's whatever. They should have been in the Super Bowl that year. Um, and they kept most of that core. Who knows what happens with Matabike if he's actually retired or not? Who knows what's going on there? But we know that their GM can make amazing draft picks at any position wherever they are. They always seem to get the best value. Them, the Seahawks, and the Eagles. It's the bird teams. They just always seem to get the most value out of their draft picks. And I don't know if that'll be any different when Mentor's there. And I think they've got to be the favorite going into it next season. Um, and then
Do you think there's any meat to the Lamar rumors of like asking for a trade or
no,
like wanting?
no,
You don't think so?
no. I don't think there's a chance. That's his
No.
city. That's Lamar's city. He can do whatever he wants there. Um, but as for a second AFC favorite, I'd probably say no, I can't go another AFC North team. I'd probably go. I don't. I'm not high on the Bills either. It might
The
be. It
Bills.
might be. Might be the Chiefs. I don't know.
Oh gosh,
It might be the Chiefs again. I think they're
they
a
just
year
got the
out from
Patriots
another
back.
title. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Bills have a lot of questions to answer this offseason, and the mess that the front office has made in these last couple weeks is,
ridiculous.
um, yeah. I
It's a
mean,
joke. They're a joke of an organization, and I feel bad for Bills fans. Feel bad for Josh Allen.
yeah. It, we're Florida State fans, and so obviously the beef with Keon Coleman is not. First of all,
Ridiculous.
you can't say that about someone that's still
On
on
your
your team,
roster, on
on
your
the roster.
roster, a starter for your
And
team.
then and then the internet, the almighty internet comes and pulls the receipts and it I mean from the videos and stuff in the war room, it looks like I mean it didn't the way that the GM put it did not look like it was true. The the owner put it. The GM had his like Coleman was the GM's guy too. Like
Yeah.
he was just as in on Keon Coleman as the coaching staff was. And I mean, like I said, the
Not
internet
to
went and found
mention
the
in that
receipts.
trade, they traded down with the Chiefs, who went up and got Worthy, who's been, I mean, a very solid guy on their offense. So they've just made some questionable decisions. I can't put my trust in them, so I'd probably lean Chiefs. Chiefs, maybe Broncos. Depends on how Bo comes back from the injury. Um, I would love to say Texans. They were my dark horse going into the playoffs um, this season, but they have so many questions on offense. Nico Collins is only regressing in just about every statistic and metric that you can think of in these past 3 years that he's been in the league. Um, so I don't know if I can really trust them yet. It'll be interesting to see what they do this offseason and in the draft. Um, if they can address the offensive changes, like offensive line changes, get a serious play caller in there, and get the most out of CJ like they did in his rookie year, then I would probably say them they would be my second favorite. But I
Yeah,
don't know if
obviously
there's
we
a
hope that CJ wakes up,
yeah. I
whatever's
really
going on this year. Obviously, maybe a little couple things on the O line, but I think at the end of the day, CJ Stroud just he does not look like the guy that we saw a couple years ago.
very yeah. I mean they also had a
I
tough run defensively.
yeah, I think I don't know. I'm feeling super heavy on the Chargers, man. I've never had like a solid like team that I say this is the team that I'm a fan of in the NFL, but I've always really liked the Chargers. I mean, I used to follow Justin Herbert in college a lot. I liked Oregon, and whenever Justin Herbert was drafted there, I started looking at the Chargers, kind of following what they did, and then they drafted a couple Florida State players, and obviously Jerwin James has been there for a super long time. So I kind of say like if I was gonna have a team, it'd be the Chargers, and McDonald at OC, I think is super exciting. I
McDaniels,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
McDaniel's, not
McDaniels, yeah,
McDonald. Sorry, got Seahawks on the brain. Um, I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be awesome. Herbert having, if he could stay healthy with, it didn't seem like his hand really bothered him a ton, but obviously you don't want anything to persist with the hand. His O line's gotta protect him. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean he's
obviously
playing
you're
with
down
fifth
to your
stringers. Yeah,
seventh strings and fifth stringers on the
yeah.
outside of his O line. So hopefully they can stay healthy. Rashawn Slater comes back. Joe Alt comes back. I mean, oh,
Got
oh,
him. Maybe.
oh, oh my!
Wow.
Come on, Ricky.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think they're
Yeah,
definitely a dark horse, though. I don't think I could name them as a favorite until I'm not a big believer in the wide receiving core right now. I really like Aronde Gadsden, his breakout. I just Keenan Allen's only getting older. We haven't seen anything from their Ole Miss rookie. Who was it that they
Trey
drafted?
Harris.
Yeah, we didn't see him like basically at all this season.
I think the reason we didn't get to see him much is because how deep that wide receiver room is. I mean, we know who Lab McConkey is. Obviously, you know, QJ opened up his career kind of
Yeah, a little bit of a
questionable, all
revival.
the drops,
Yeah,
and this year we kind of saw him, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season, he was the wide receiver one for fantasy football.
yeah,
But yeah, I think there's definitely some questions there, like how will they balance that and how will they use that, you know, that depth to their advantage. But I think there's just so many options and they all have different skill sets. I think that Mike McDaniels will be able to do some stuff there. And I'm super excited for Rondé Gadsden because of
yeah.
what McDaniels was able to do with
Smith and
in Miami with Smith and Waller. Like,
yep.
I think that he could really turn Gadsden into a good tight end, a good pass catching tight end.
Yeah, I agree. I need to see how the health shakes out for their offensive line, how they draft and what they think there are their necessities. Like what they target in the draft. It'll be very interesting to see. Um, but yeah, I could see them being a favorite depending on how injuries in the draft and off season goes. But as of right now, I don't think I can't put my faith into them just yet.
That other than the Chargers, I really like the Texans. I think, like you said, if we could just get the good version of C.J. Stroud and maybe get some help on that O line, I think they have a good shot. I really, I really want Josh Allen and the Bills to make it, but
Yeah,
like you said, I just don't believe in the front office. I I don't know, man. It's so hard. Like, obviously, there's you hear all the time like Josh Allen needs a Super Bowl. Like, he needs to go
yeah,
to the Super Bowl,
yeah.
and I I just can't even like put my I can't put my faith in the front office. It had nothing to do with Josh Allen, nothing to do with the team.
I mean, we
I
know what
just
he is on the field. We know what Josh Allen is. Everyone with eyes knows what Josh Allen is. That's a miss. Oh,
I wish the Ravens would turn it around and get back into the playoffs. And we've obviously seen the last couple of years the way that they exit is always something
painful.
heartbreaking,
Yep,
something
painful.
painful, blown leads, and just terrible drop passes. We don't want to talk about Mark
Brutal.
Andrews,
Brutal.
but yeah, I don't know. It seems like the NFC is kind of like the premier conference now. I feel like when you look around the AFC, it's almost like it's being tossed up for grabs. In the NFC, you've like the powerhouses are there. Like, we know who's going to be good. We
I
know who's
mean,
got their coaching staff
and
put
I think the
together, and
reason for that is how the teams are structured in both conferences. In the AFC, it's we've got our superstar guy in the backfield running the plays at quarterback, and they're weaker in other certain areas aside from those Chiefs runs, where they were just good everywhere and had arguably the second best quarterback of all time in the backfield. But it's more hero ball in the AFC with your star quarterback, whereas in the NFC we've seen Jalen Hurts, how controversial of a quarterback he is, be surrounded with this insane talent on both sides of the ball. And now we've seen it again in the NFC with the Seattle Seahawks running it with a quarterback who has had major concerns of how he can play and what the Seahawks can get out of him going and winning a Super Bowl. So there's just two different philosophies on both sides of the conference, and I think that's what makes the NFL such a great um, product. Is there's just so many different ways to win in this league.
yeah, I it's it's interesting to see the difference in the conferences. I don't know. I want. Oh wow, come on, Purdy.
Zavea, come
This
on,
is
man.
not looking good.
I can kick a field goal. Oh, let's go.
Oh no. All right, we're blocking this.
But what about you? Oh, that's a oh.
Oh my gosh.
What about your
Wow.
favorites in the NFC? What
I
what would be your
I
what would
really
be your
like.
matchup right now? I'm gonna say Seahawks. I'm gonna say Seahawks. Seahawks Ravens. I'm gonna go Bird Bowl.
I think right now I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Rams Chargers. I think
Rams,
that's our
Chargers,
Super Bowl
Battle
next
of
year. Oh
LA.
my!
Battle of LA. I
Yep,
like
the
that.
Battle of LA. I'm excited to see what Matthew Stafford does. Obviously, I mean, we just got through a off season last year of not knowing what was gonna happen with his back, with his health, and I don't know. I think we see something kind of like Tom Brady where he makes that surge late in his career and retires. So hopefully, I want to see Matthew Stafford back in the playoffs and back in the Super Bowl. I think he's a great player. I really like Matt. Oh,
Yeah, I agree.
maybe I should practice some
I hate
Madden
him because
later.
I have to play him twice a year minimum, but
I
he's always been one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch.
as watching him in Detroit, I always wished
Yeah,
that he could do good. I love like the tough, just like mean players, and
and
for
he'll
Matthew
take a
Stafford to be
hit.
like,
I mean, there's
and
that
he'll play
infamous
through hits,
mic'd up hit where
his
he like,
shoulder.
yeah, dislocated his shoulder, comes in and wins the game. He's a player I love to root for. I just hate that he's in my division.
I am a big proponent of those type of players. I love watching them. I love like just everything about that type of oh my
Throwing a little steezy. That's the real Brock Purdy coming out right there. More accurate.
fetch. Yeah, I really want to see Matt and Puka that core. Hopefully, and I really want one of the big things. The reasons I say Rams, I really want Devontae to get to the Super Bowl and have some success there. Obviously, he had a great year and dealt with some injuries,
Talk about
but
somebody whose game has just aged like a fine wine. I mean, how he's been able to still be productive at this age and at this stage of his career. Went from being probably I mean, I don't think probably he is the best route runner of all time, and being able to still be productive even though he's lost a step, as as fast as he used to be or as snappy as he used to be. He still has flashes every now and then, but his age, being able to translate his game into a wide receiver two role when he's been that alpha wide receiver one his whole career. Um, just shows like his leadership skills and being able and willing to do whatever to win. Another
yep,
guy I love to root for is just in my division, unfortunately. Unfortunately,
yep, you are. It's a blessing and a curse to be a Seahawks fan. You got to play those guys 2 times a year. You got to play San Fran 2 times a year, but you're also it's a good organization. John Snyder is cooking it up in the draft, making
yeah,
sure that that
yeah,
team is always on point.
making us relevant, man, making us relevant. But yeah, I mean, I think we've covered pretty much as we can about way too early and this most recent Super Bowl. What do you think about some of the most recent coaching hires? Let's start with the AFC. John Harbaugh moving on from Baltimore and going to the Giants. What do you think about that and their outlook for the season?
Did, did it surprise you when they fired him?
Dable or
Whenever they fired Harbaugh, the
no, man.
Ravens.
I really think this was a long time coming. He's really been. If they didn't make the championship game, the AFC championship game in 2023, I think he would have been gone that year. Um, I really think it was a long time coming. I think a lot of Ravens fans will say that too.
Yeah, I yeah. I mean, I as long as I can remember, obviously, I'm not super old. It's always been Harbaugh with the Ravens, and I love the deal with him and Lamar. But I do think it was time for a little bit of a change. As far as him with the Giants, I love it. I love that he's getting
It's a good fit.
quarterback with kind of the
Yeah,
same skill sets as Lamar. Obviously, he's
a
not Lamar
mobile guy.
Jackson, but he's
Yeah,
mobile. He can run. He's got a good like personality as far as like getting along with the team. The players love him. The team rallies around him. Um, with Scat, dude, that
wrecking
combo between
ball. Yeah.
Harbaugh and Dart and Scat is just a crazy trio. It's gonna be fun to watch. I think they're gonna be if especially if Jameis stays. I think just the personality of that team will
Oh yeah.
um
Oh yeah.
will be big and for
Big
the
as the
NFL,
brand.
obviously we see that yeah, a very big brand. I think that the Giants, I mean, if you look back in the past, Eli Manning was a big personality,
Oh
Odell
yeah.
Beckham Jr. big personality. I think that Harbaugh fits into this group and just the history of the Giants pretty well. And I'm excited to see how they do. I think within a couple years, we'll see them competing in the playoffs. I think give Harbaugh 2 years there to get that defense settled in and let the rookies get uh, a couple of years under their belt, and I think they'll be a playoff contender within a year or two.
I mean, it'll be very interesting to see how Malik Neighbors comes back after a really gruesome um, ACL tear, and apparently it was even worse than an ACL. I don't know the specific injury, but it was worse
The
than that. It was,
meniscus?
yeah,
I think it was
meniscus
the
as well.
meniscus as well.
So it's like that on top of an ACL tear. It'll be very interesting to see how he comes back, and their passing game will be very reliant on how he looks. Um,
Yeah, and I think we've seen in the past just with Tua, the only worry I have with, obviously we know that Harbaugh has run some pretty like quarterback design heavy offenses before. My X player is just stuck. That's awesome.
get him.
X just got stuck like in the middle of the field, not moving on a DB. That's so great. Thank you, Madden. Um, I just wonder with the concussions with Jackson Dart. I don't want to see something like we're seeing with Tua right now, where he takes all these hits and he gets
Yeah,
all these concussions and is eventually forced out. I hope. Oh my gosh, dude.
reminds me a lot of Josh Allen. How he'll just put his body on the line. I mean, a little too much, a little too much on the
The
line.
interview
But
with John Gruden that Jackson Dart done. I think
yeah,
as a rookie, they were watching film where he's like, you like he's Gruden's just telling you like you need to get down, you need to get down, and they come to play. And Gruden's like, so you get there, and what do you do? And Jackson Dart says, run him over. It's like, that is not what we want you to do, Jackson. But yeah, I think the team is going to be fun to watch. Oh, that wasn't first?
nope,
It must have been.
no forward progress, like a
No,
yard behind.
no. Well, put up 50 on me.
I might.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun team to watch. And obviously, being a Florida State fan, I love Jameis. As to the personality of the team, oh my,
Godwin,
it'll
turn
be
back the
fun.
clock. Yeah,
You, how are
they're
you
a
feeling?
bright young team.
Obviously, head coach with the Chargers are going to stay the same, but I think just the name of McDaniels and the prowess that he has as a great offensive mind makes him noteworthy and worth talking about. How are you feeling about the Chargers offense going into next season with
I mean,
McDaniels as the OC?
it is probably the best signing that you could ask for as a Chargers fan. And through a fantasy lens, we're no experts, but I'm getting every bit of a Marion Hampton around a Gadsden I can in redraft leagues. I love it, love it for their offense. I think they're going to go nuclear, um, and it'll be interesting to see what they do defensively if that unit can still produce without Minter at the helm. Um, so I love it. I love it. I wish that the Seahawks had talked to him. If we had known that Kubiak was for sure taking it, man. I mean, it was pretty much confirmed, but I wish McDaniels had waited just a little bit longer. Maybe he could have come up north to Washington.
Yeah,
But
that would have been with how good that defense is in Seattle. I don't think it would have been fair to give him Mike McDaniels as well.
yeah,
Dude, I'm about to get the score run up on me. Holy crap. I swear, if anybody is seeing this or hearing this, we played a game like a week ago and it did not end this way. I only lost by 1 point and I was playing with the Raiders. So this is
oh goodness,
we're gonna say this is an anomaly. Hopefully I can get a point on the board. I need
we'll
Matt
see.
Collins in the corner of the end zone in the fourth quarter. Like the Patriots in the Super Bowl stat pad in a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited for Mike McDaniels. I hope that being a coordinator kind of takes a little bit of the stress off of him. Obviously, like we know he's kind of one of those coaches that's a little bit awkward in the
Very
press
eccentric.
conferences with the
Yeah,
media and stuff. Yeah, and I think it might have been a little difficult for him to be the center of attention there
especially
in
the
Miami.
commander room is, you know, and we
Yeah,
saw that with
and
Kubiak.
so
Before he came with the Seattle. I mean, hey, I mean, he was playing with the Saints, coaching for the Saints, and it was just a hard task. And some people are just meant to be coordinators, and I feel like McDaniel's is
yep,
one of
I
those.
think McDaniels is one of those guys.
Yeah.
What do you think
But
about
it's,
the Titans and their new hire with Robert Sala?
I mean, once again, another. I think when you're looking at who was available, I don't know if you could get anyone better for the Titans specifically. Um, Oh, good throw. Nope, he's terrible.
and he dropped it. Dude, come
He's
on.
terrible. But I really do like the Salah hire. It'll be interesting to see because they've got a pretty old defense, at least for a rebuilding team.
Mhm.
A lot of late 20s, early 30s guys over there. Um, so it'll be interesting to see his philosophy of like who he's going to look for in the draft. And
Oh my.
um, this is actually a lore
I'm getting
accurate.
I'm I'm getting eight, bro.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they keep their pieces, who they move off of in the offseason, who they go for in the draft, and if they can revive the careers of like L'Jarius Sneed. uh, Jeffrey Simmons is a beast. So if he keeps producing, then that unit will go as far as he'll take them. Um,
Yeah, I think that or the only thing that I thought about that could be a con of Robert Sala is that like he is, we know, a defensive minded head coach, and we saw last year that Cam Ward kind of struggled a little bit in his rookie year. I wonder what the plan is to help out Cam Ward develop. Obviously, he kind of cut it on a little bit in the second half of the season, or like the last third of the season. But we see in the past that sometimes, whenever these first overall picks get their head coach fired, they usually go for an offensive minded guy to help out that
yeah,
number one overall pick. They invest in that, and it didn't seem like that. Like the Titans are taking a different route, and I wonder how that'll affect Cam Ward.
yeah,
Especially, I mean,
I still believe
they
in him.
need pieces.
He was really Cam Ward was doing everything he could. If I mean, not many people were watching Titans games, but he was really doing all he could out there. So if they can get him some help, if that offensive line can develop a little bit more, maybe they hit on a guard or two in the draft. Um, I think Cam Ward's still legit. I don't know if he'll win any MVPs or any Super Bowls or anything crazy like that, but he's definitely a number one overall talent for a reason. Um, so I still believe in him a lot. The NFL and sports media as a whole is so reactionary, and I mean rightfully so. It's the brand, but sometimes it's way too much reactionary. And I've seen so many people being like, "How'd this guy go number one? Why is he still their guy? They might need to look for a guy in the draft if Dante Moore was still like going to
Mm.
be in the league," which I'm surprised he wanted to stay, but yeah, I still believe in Cam Ward. And I mean, after this Sam Darnold story, I don't know how you can't believe in an early draft pick.
Yeah. Yep. I It'll be interesting to see. I I really liked Cam Ward whenever he was at Washington State, and then he transferred to our rival school, and we had to play him, and obviously it didn't go well.
Well, it went well for
But
Miami.
it went well for Cam Ward. It did not go
Yeah,
well for
he
us
did
as Florida
very
State fans.
no.
Dude,
But
I can't get
staying
anything
in the
for him.
AFC side of things, coaching wise, Mike McCarthy going to the
To the
Steelers.
Steelers.
Talk to me. What do you think? This is a franchise that's only had four head coaches, and they go out and get this guy, who a lot of people have written off. I mean, for right
That's not McCarthy at
reasons.
all.
What do you think? What's their outlook
Yeah,
going into
I
it?
mean, it honestly felt like they just wanted a hometown guy because McCarthy's old.
Yeah,
He gets a lot of credit for some of the quarterbacks that he's been with, and I mean, he's really only been with great quarterbacks, and so it's kind of hard to tell how much of that is him and how much of that is the quarterback, processing and
yeah.
being
Hey,
athletic.
Super Bowl champion Mike McCarthy.
Super Bowl champion Mike McCarthy, man. His press conference I thought was interesting. Like his opening presser was more
Hmm.
of like, I'm so happy to be like in my hometown,
Right.
and I did like it was more like nostalgic than like I'm ready to be here and like compete and this is my plan for the offense, and it almost feels like they're just getting another Mike Tomlin. Like whenever they
Yeah,
have McCarthy, it's just like
very
he's
similar.
stuck in the past, and
I mean,
I
this
mean
franchise is stuck in the past. If we're being
it
honest.
is, and
Yeah.
they're planning on. I think they're planning on keeping Aaron Rodgers is the word around the league right now. Like they're thinking about bringing him back, and Rodgers wants to go back and be with McCarthy.
I
So I
just
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know
Unfortunately
how
for Steelers fans, I think it's more of the same. I
another
think
9-8
he's got
season
it
incoming.
at most, yeah, at most 3 years in Pittsburgh, and I think we'll see, you know, a couple of 9-8 seasons. So
Yeah,
it's
it's a front office that just isn't willing to change and adapt to modern NFL, and they're going to be stuck in that purgatory until they decide that enough is enough, and I don't know if they ever will get out of that. They just seem like they're doomed to be 9-8.
yeah, that might be there, and there the lack of like preparation for the future too. Like,
Yeah,
what do they? If you bring back Aaron Rodgers, what's the plan for the future? I mean, you the Steelers need to be building for the future because they you got the new head coach. Your defense is old. I mean,
very old,
like extremely old,
and took
and
a
it's just
step
like
back this past season.
yeah,
Honestly,
like it doesn't look like they're doing any preparation for the future, and yeah, I don't know. I there's obviously some things to be positive about. Like I think you're gonna get a solid team. You're gonna get a 9-8 season, and you're gonna be decent
and you're gonna
at
be
football.
happy, and you're gonna be happy. You're taking your 9-8. You're gonna be happy. Um, but yeah.
Any other coaching hires?
Well, where did Kingsbury go from AZ? Did he join the Rams? I
He's
believe.
the car.
Yeah,
Cliff
but I thought he
Kingsbury.
left. I thought he left.
Yeah, sorry. He's the OC for the Rams now.
Yep.
I
I don't know if they have a guy. Do they? Are they just gonna promote from within?
have the Cardinals. I don't think no. I think they've just been
Are they
doing
like the only
interviews.
coaching
I don't know who would. I
vacancy
don't know
right
who would
now?
want to coach the Cardinals. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. The Cardinals are in shambles. I don't know what to
Oldest
think about the
franchise in the
Cardinals,
in the league, and the worst
and they
probably.
can't get it together.
Probably the worst, I'd say. But if you want to move into our um our draft class in the big board, our top 10, we
Yeah,
can
I'm excited.
we could
I'm
start
excited for
from
the
10
draft.
and go to 1.
Yeah, dude, the draft is my favorite part of football season. Like,
I agree.
it's
There's
where
no there's
it's
no
where college
downtime.
and NFL meet. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's where the
there's
college and the NFL meet. It's so much
yeah,
fun.
it'll be very interesting to, leading up to the draft, there's always going to be good content from all your favorite, podcasters and YouTubers and content creators on in the football space. Um, there's really no break. As soon as the Super Bowl is done, we jump right into draft season. And yeah, if you want to start with your number 10 in your big board, and we
Yeah,
can
so
compare.
this is my number 10 on the big board. I think that around the 8 to 12 range, there's a lot of people that could fall there, but my number 10 on the big board this year is Carnell Tate
Mm,
from Ohio State. Obviously, we saw he has some crazy highlights. He's great at the catch point. He's big and physical. He's a little overshadowed, in my opinion, by Jeremiah Smith. And I mean,
yeah,
you could almost say rightfully so. Jeremiah Smith is a generational prospect. You don't see very many of Jeremiah Smith around. So, yeah, I mean, I just think he's going to be a great asset for a team in the NFL. Deep downfield passes. He'll really stretch the field. I could see a team like, maybe the Giants like that need somebody to kind of stretch it downfield. Obviously, they have Wando
that's it.
Robinson. He's getting a little old.
Well,
You're
did
using
he
Malik
did he sign with
Neighbors.
them yet? He's going into free agency, is he not?
He's in free agency as well. So I mean, they could let him walk. And
Oh, he's
well,
gone.
are we gonna get some points on the board? Maybe. You're not getting chased
Let's
down.
go. Let's
Are you
go.
serious?
Is that Jamel Dean? Jamal Dean? I don't know.
McCaffrey's too old. Yeah,
But yeah,
I think that paired in the right situation, Carnell Tate could have a great year this upcoming year. I I don't think that Carnell Tate is the kind of guy that is going to flourish as like an alpha wide receiver. I don't really think that
no,
that is like his
no.
archetype or his style. But he's gonna somebody like on a team with someone like Puka, where you've got Puka running all those inside crossers and
Dude,
short routes.
if he goes to the Rams, man, if he goes to the
I don't
Rams, I
I
can't.
don't know if he would. He's not gonna fall that far in the draft, but on a
No,
team in
no.
that kind of situation would be great
Yeah.
for him.
I mean, they've got the 13th pick. Anything could happen.
I guess that's true. I mean, the none of the position groups are super deep this year.
No. This
Um,
draft is a
so I
lot of
think,
wide receiver twos.
yep. I think
and we'll
you're
get to
getting a
who
lot of like
yeah,
decent, really solid players, like
yeah.
good key pieces for
This
your
is a
offense,
draft
for your
where
defense.
you look at the GMs around the league, and the Howie
They
Rosemans and
better.
the John Schneiders really separate themselves. This is where you know if you have a good GM. This is the type of draft where you know if you have a good GM, where there's no clear number one guy. Even though I think there's a clear number one guy, but he'll never go number one, um, without getting too spoilery. But um, yeah, this will be a very interesting draft. This is where the GMs separate themselves, talent wise. Um, but for my number 10, I've got Mansour Delane out of LSU. Oh, I'm returning the ball. I thought you were. But yeah, I've got Mansour Delane. I think he's the best corner in this draft.
Hmm.
Um, in a weaker corner draft, I think he's the guy. I think if you're looking for an outside guy, a guy that can really play slot, nickel, on the boundary, I think he's really got it all. I don't know if there's another guy in this draft class that could be asked to do all of that.
Yep. I hate LSU because I'm
That's
obviously
fair.
Florida State fans.
That's fair.
We've had a couple of
In
heated
recent
matches these
history,
last couple of years,
yeah.
but I mean, he's super solid. Obviously, like you said, he's looking like he's going to be the best corner in this draft. The only other guy that could even be considered there is the Tennessee corner. I forgot his name. I know a lot of people have
Oh,
had him.
Hood or McCoy?
Jermod?
Jermod, I think is
Gosh,
right.
I can't remember.
I think Jermod
Yeah,
McCoy.
Jermod. Yeah, that's him. Jermod
Yeah.
McCoy. I a lot of people were super high on him. The only issue is he didn't play basically like I don't think he played at all this year. They're going based off of his 24 tape.
Yeah.
He had a torn
He
ACL. I
was
think he
out.
missed the whole year.
Yep.
So I think that he'll fall because of that. I mean, you don't have any recent tape on him, and obviously that's your last year in college going into the NFL. That's what a lot of these GMs want to see. So I think he's gonna fall pretty far, and that kind of leaves the door open for Delane to take that number one corner spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he had played a full tape this season, I think he'd be the consensus number one cornerback. But
Yeah. It also raises
and
the
he's
question
still
of like
good.
what went wrong with his recovery? Like how
Yeah,
was
the
the injury
training
just
staff
that
there.
terrible for him to
Well, yeah,
miss
what's not being
that
said?
much time?
I agree.
So uh, the I'd imagine the teams that are making calls to LSU have a lot of questions about him.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, we can alternate now. So you started. I'll go right into number 9. I have Carnell Tate here at 9. Um,
Okay.
I would. I think this is a pretty at the top. The wide receiver class is pretty good. Um, but I definitely think he's the third best out of the
Hmm.
top three in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, for all the same reasons, I feel like us having him at 9 and 10 is very. I
Yeah.
think that's the range he should be
He's a
in.
specialist. He's good at what he does, but he's not like the all around versatile guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, my number nine is another Ohio State guy. Getting a lot of Ohio State in here. Sonny Styles. I am
he
super
was
excited for
he was
him.
just outside my 10. He was 11 for me.
Okay. Yeah, I the reason I'm so excited about him is just like if you look at his whole career in college, he started out as a safety
Yep.
and he was a very big safety. He's a
Yeah.
big guy, I think 6'5", two well into the 200s if I'm not mistaken. He's
Yep.
I know him and Arvell Reese are like they have the same height and weight almost. And so I mean, somebody at middle linebacker that's that big that is good enough to play safety at the college
Yeah.
level is somebody that you
A
want on your
safety
team.
brain in a Mike linebacker's body is a dangerous combo. I could see him being a big draft riser if he performs well in the combine. Um,
Yep.
but yeah,
He's just an
I like
athletic
that.
freak.
I
He's an
like that at
athletic freak,
9.
man.
He's a beast. He is one of those like Swiss Army knife, Nick Imamori, Kyle Hamilton kind of guys. Maybe not that level, but that type of
Hmm.
player, that archetype. So I'm very excited for him as well. Man, yeah. I was thinking of a fantasy world where the Seahawks somehow got him, but I would love to see him with
That's a
Mike
crazy fantasy
McDonald,
world
bro.
right there.
Him and Mike McDonald, he would, dude. But yeah, I like that. Nine is a great spot for him. He was just outside of my
And
top 10, like I said.
For number 8, I had Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson's obviously, we've seen his tape. He's great. Super twitchy, super fast. I mean,
Explosive. Can go up and get
he's
it.
got the tools. He's
Yeah,
athletic.
yeah,
I have him obviously of the big three going into this draft: McKyleman and Colonel Tate with Jordan Tyson. I have him in the middle there. I just like McKyleman just the taddest bit more, but the only thing I saw with Jordan Tyson is he's kind of he's got a nice frame on him, but he's thin, and
yeah,
I know that a lot of these thinner wide receivers sometimes they just don't get to take that alpha wide receiver role. Obviously, JSN being the exception this year, you know,
yeah,
he's
man.
not the regular build that you see for the number one wide receiver in the NFL.
You mean
But
the
I mean,
Emerald
he
City
has,
Route Artist? Yeah, but yeah, I know who you're
yeah,
talking about.
that
Yeah,
guy, the greatest nickname in the NFL. Yeah, I think he's going to be a great wide receiver. Like I said, I don't know if any of the guys in this class are going to be like alphas, like this is your guy, number
yeah.
one. But
But I mean, out of the three at the
he's going to
top, I
be,
think Tyson is the most likely to be that guy.
yeah,
You know, you're on
he
the
has the
boundary
most
kind of
potential
guy.
to be that guy.
Yeah,
I think you of the three, he has the highest ceiling for
I
sure.
agree. I agree.
And the
Yeah.
oh gosh, I just there was something about Tyson that it's slipping my mind. Never mind, you go ahead.
It's all right. I've got David Bailey at 9 or 8. Sorry, coming in from
Wow.
Texas Tech.
Okay.
I I think it's really him and Ruben Bain, the two primary edge rushers of the class, and I think that he, in a stronger draft class, he's probably not this high for me. Um, but this is a weaker draft class at the top, and I think because of that, he benefits from it. But yeah, I've got him at 8. Is he not in your top 10? Is he one of the guys that wasn't on?
He is, but much higher.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean I see the argument for it. I just I like and I'll go ahead and say it. Tyson at 7. I've got Tyson at 7. So
Okay.
if I you might have him a top 5 guy, and I don't hate that, but yeah, I would go Bailey and then Jordan Tyson. So
Yep. My 7 is Makai Lemon.
yeah,
I have these wide receivers a little bit lower than I think most people. I've seen Jordan Tyson go as low as like 21, 22. Obviously, most people have probably seen Joe Klatt had him go at 21 to
dude,
the Cowboys, and so I don't think he's falling that far. I don't think these receivers
Cowboy.
are falling that far. But Makai Lemon seems to me like the most complete. He plays out of the slot a ton, and obviously, I mean, I really like that. You see a lot of these guys that start off in the slot when they get to the NFL, they they end up flourishing, and as soon as they can get out of that slot, and it takes them a year to to get to the rhythm of the NFL, get up to speed. But those guys, in my opinion, seem to end up always turning out pretty good. And I mean, Makai Lemon is big. He's physical. He's great at the catch point,
Mhm.
and he's super fun to watch. So I have him at my number 7.
Okay. And go. What about number 6? What do you got there?
That's where I got Jeremiah Love. So
Okay. Wow.
obviously, in a class where Jeremiah Love is the only running back, it's I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's not much to say about Jeremiah Love. We know who he is. He's good. He's been there at Notre Dame for a couple years, and we've been able to watch him.
Yeah.
Um, he's great catching, great after the catch. I mean, he's gonna be one of those. He is a true bell cow back for whoever gets him, and I kind of for the sake of it, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I would love to see him get drafted by the Chiefs at 9.
Yeah. Yeah. He would flourish in that offense with really no competition. Um. But I'm on 6 now. I've got Makai at 6. I've got Makai Lemon at
Okay.
6. I think he's the best out of the three.
Yep.
I would love to see him in Tennessee with Cam Ward.
Mm.
Um, but number 5 to start it, I'm gonna say Mendoza is very beneficial
Wow.
because of the draft class. I've got him at 5. I think the talent above him, I would take in a heartbeat. Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Raiders, I might talk. If I could get a haul, I would trade out from the number 1 pick. Um,
Wow.
I would. I love Mendoza. His story is great. Um, he just does some things. Then we can talk about it in our mock draft that we'll do probably
Mm,
next week. Um, where I have some disparities as to why I don't think he should go number one. I love his story. Don't get me wrong. I was rooting for Indiana. I wanted them to win. I love his story of how the walk on and not getting to Miami and Cal and all of that. I love that. But as a prospect, I've got him ranked fifth. I've got him ranked fifth.
okay. Yep. My number five is Caleb Downs. I'm super high on Caleb Downs in this draft. I know he's a safety and the positional value is not really there, but I if teams let him fall because he's a safety, then they're missing out on a generational safety. You're missing out on a safety that can literally do everything. He's that Nicky Monroy, Kyle Hamilton type of guy. One of the like whenever you talk to or hear about the talks from coaches and whenever the people around the NCAA talk about him, I mean, he's extremely intelligent. He knows ball, and he's
Yep.
just
Yep.
so so athletic. So he's got a big frame on him. He's built for the NFL. He's built to be
Yeah.
a standout
Yeah.
safety. I mean, he's going to be great. Number four, this is where I have David Bailey.
Okay. Fair.
I think that the edge rushers in this class are like these are some guys. They're
Yeah.
big, they're physical. Obviously, we saw Texas Tech go out and spend good money, and rightfully so. They got some guys, and David Bailey was the guy for them this year. I'm excited to see him rushing the passer. Um, well, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit here. We're gonna go number three. I have Ruben Bain here, and obviously Ruben Bain. We got to see him in the spotlight in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's a guy. He's gonna be good.
You can
All
go
the people
third
that are
all the way to
complaining about
number
his
one, and then I'll go
okay,
four to one. So
yeah, I don't think that his arm length plays much of a factor in my opinion. I
yeah,
think that that's kind of ridiculous to let him fall because his arms are short.
I
Like
agree.
he's an animal. He's
Yeah.
an athletic freak,
I mean, the
and he
same kind of thing
basically
with like Jared Verse. I mean, everybody's like he has no bag. He's just a bull rush, and then he goes out and wins the defensive rookie of the year with just a bull
yep,
rush. So
yep. Sometimes the bull rush is what's best.
yep.
Number
Uh,
two, I've got Arvell Reese. I think that Arvell Reese just barely edges out Ruben Bain. I just think that like raw athleticism, raw talent, and raw like just ability to the ceiling that he can achieve, I think, is a lot higher than Ruben Bain and David Bailey. Like we just said, he started off his college career playing Mike,
yep.
and so he routinely has swapped back and forth between those two positions here in his last year in Ohio State. But seeing him at edge, man, dude, he's got bend, and he is. There's this one play I saw on his film where he just like stands up the offensive tackle, and it kind of looks like the offensive tackle's got him like stuck. But then, right as the running back gets to the hole, he throws the left tackle, or yeah, the left tackle with one arm. And it's just like he just sits there and basically does whatever he wants with offensive linemen. He's he is a
He's a
I
stud.
would say
He's a
yeah,
stud.
he's just a stud.
He's a
He's the
stud.
guy. And obviously not too much to say. Number one, I have Fernando Mendoza. He'll go
Yeah,
number one.
he
I
will.
think
He will go
mostly by
number one.
circumstance. Mostly by circumstance. I think this is a weak class. He's a great.
I
He's
agree.
got the attributes that you want from a
I
franchise guy.
agree. I
I'll let
agree.
you I'll
I
let you
mean,
get
yeah,
into your four.
yeah. I've got Reese at four. I've got Reese at four. I think in this top five, defensively, I don't think you can really make a bad decision here. Reese is a stud. I wouldn't hate if he was taken ahead of Bain. And maybe he will be taken ahead in my mock draft at least. But and then at three, I've got Bain. The short arms is a concern, but I don't think it's a concern that should hold him out of the top five. And I think he is the third best prospect in this draft. Um, but my number two is Jeremiah Love. I'm very high on Jeremiah Love. I think he'll be a cornerstone
Uh,
guy for whatever franchise is lucky enough to get him. My personal perfect landing spot would be the Vikings. I would love to see him in
wow.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Um, and then number one is Caleb Downs. I think he's the best player in this draft, hands down. I've been singing his praises since last college season when they won the championship. I think he's the best player in college football for 2 seasons now. Um, and I think whatever team is lucky enough to get Caleb Downs, they will have won the draft for me. So I think he's the number one guy.
Yeah, I cannot fault you at all for that. Caleb Downs, I think he's my favorite prospect
Yeah.
in the draft.
Yep.
Whenever we get into the mock drafts and we get to talking about them and more into their skill set and things like that, I think you're gonna probably have to shut me up on Caleb Downs. But
Yeah.
he's just, yeah, I mean, he's gonna be insane. I'm excited to watch him fly around the field and do the things that we see Kyle Hamilton and Nicky Monroy do now. That archetype of players becomes super popular and super pivotal
Yep.
in these defenses. So
And if you
I
told
think,
me on draft night that the Raiders were going to take him number one, I wouldn't be mad. I would say in this draft class, he deserves to go number one. I think he should go number one. He won't go number one, obviously, but he is the best prospect to me. I think he's the best prospect.
yep, that's completely fair. I think he's definitely gonna be a game changing player wherever he goes. He'll be one of these safeties that we talk about a long time after he's done playing football.
Yep. Just feels like a guy that would fit so well in a Harbaugh scheme. Maybe that's a little uh,
Dude, if the
leak for.
Giants, if he goes to the Giants, I would be ecstatic. I
I
think
would be
that
very
the
happy if I'm
Giants
man. If I'm a New
solidifying up
York
that
Giants
defense would be
fan
great.
and I got Downs in the number five pick, I'd be very happy. I'd be very happy. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm just gonna eat that one. This was a beatdown.
this was a little Seahawks Patriots old fashioned beat down here in the first
This is
episode.
it'll be different. It'll be different next time.
This is something that Cole and I have been wanting to do for a while. So if you watched, think about subscribing, give us a like. Um, we'll be talking football whether people are listening or not. And then
Yep.
let's look at the stats. Let's see who is the marquee guy on both sides of the ball.
You don't
Little,
want to see
little
mine.
dude, 121 yards. Holy cow, 44% completion rate. Brock Purdy superstar, by the way. 620 yards.
I'm also
Yep.
just pretty bad at Madden.
Perfect. Perfect. You'll get better as we
I've been playing
continue.
a lot of NCAA
Okay.
recently. I think it's pretty fun. But yeah, like Human said, this is something that we've always wanted to do. We love football, like Human said, on every level, college, NFL. It's just fun to sit here and talk about ball, and we do this anyways. We sit here and play Madden or whatever we're doing and
And we'll
talk
do
about
it
ball. So
if
we
we get
figured
no views at all. I mean, this will be something we do no matter what, whether people
gonna
want
be
to
fun. We're
watch it
excited.
or not.
If
So,
you do enjoy, let your friends know. Keep watching. We have stuff coming down the pipeline that we're excited for with the draft, and so thanks everybody that is here, and we'll see you guys next time.